Good evening, everyone. It is 7 p.m. on Sunday, so that means it is time for Motivation Sunday. Thank you for everyone that's going to tune in, and thanks to everyone that's going to view this a little later. What's going on, Emmanuel? Hey, Sydney. Today's topic is going to be entrepreneurship. The good, the bad, the ugly, my personal opinion, and what I think you can do to be successful at it. So, entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? A lot of the times the term is thrown around, and I'm in business or I have a job and I'm making money on the side, so I'm an entrepreneur, and it's a little bit more complicated than that. And if you look on the internet, Wikipedia said that entrepreneurship is the process of designing, launching, and running a new business, which is often initially a small business. The people that create businesses are called entrepreneurs. Now, again, that definition, what's going on, Dallas? Again, that definition is very simplified and kind of glosses over the ins and outs of what actually entrepreneurship is. It's not just making businesses, running businesses, being your own boss. It also involves a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of determination, and a lot of setbacks. It's just a lot more than you can read to find out what's going on. Can you get a lot more that you can read about, a lot more that goes along with it than just these basic definitions. If you think about some people that are entrepreneurs, you think about Gary Vaynerchuk, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, Gary Vee runs his own media company, Jesse Iser. I think he lived with a Marine for a while. He started a exclusive I forget, was it planes or something? A custom plane company that people of high wealth network could rent out. Jeff Bezos, of course, Amazon. Larry Page, Google. Bill Gates, Microsoft. Steve Jobs, Apple. Mark Cuban owns the Dallas Mavericks and a bunch of other businesses. Damon John with Fubu. Robert Herjavec, Kevin O'Leary, all a part of the Shark Tank crew. Security, stuff like that. Richard Branson, Dirk, Virgin Mobile, and of course Ty Lopez, who's all over the internet and on your YouTube videos trying to preach social media advocacy and what's going on in the tech, advocating and controlling it to make money on people's businesses. Also, hey, what's going on, Dal? I just started reading this book by Gary Vaynerchuk. If you're inspiring to be an entrepreneur, make sure you go grab this. It's called Crushing It. It's the second book in his series. He put out a book a couple of years ago called Crush It, but now he has Crushing It out, so definitely go pick that up. It's a great read. I'm starting reading now. But those is just a number of people in the industry already that have got over the hump and already made it big and already successful. But generally, when you talk about entrepreneurship, you talk about small businesses, you talk about people running their brands or businesses by themselves. We call those solopreneurs. That's because they're doing it by themselves. These people have large media groups, large teams, different things to help their business grow. But when you're starting off, it's just you, and you're a solopreneur. So some of the negative things you might realize when starting out is, first of all, it's a risk. I want to say that again. Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. Hey, for Asia. Hey, Dallas. Hey, Ogie. It's a risk. And I want you guys to understand entrepreneurship is a risk. It's not for the faint of heart. It's a financial risk. It's a relationship risk. It's a whole bunch. It's just one big risk. And when you take it, you shouldn't take it lighthearted. I mean, entrepreneurship is either all or none. Like, you have to go on, be determined, be persistent, understand that there are going to be times when you're like, I can't do this, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not for the faint of heart. It's a difficult field. If you don't work in entrepreneurship, a lot of people's like, yeah, I'm my own boss, so I can go on and wherever I want, do what I want. But if you don't work, what's going on, Bert? Yeah, what's sick? When you don't work, you don't eat. So you're not getting a steady paycheck. This is not a secure position, and nobody is giving you a paycheck every 2 weeks, giving you assignments to do. You kind of have to get up and follow your own path. So that takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of research that you have to do on your own. And it's not typical of when you have a 9-to-5 job. And there's nothing, I want to say this for everybody who's listening, there is nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5. I'm not advocating that you should quit your 9-to-5 and go into entrepreneurship and start your business. But there are benefits to it that I think you can really gain from, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later. Being an entrepreneur is lonely. You know, it's you're kind of by yourself for the most part of the journey. I mean, until you develop a theme, until you get a following, until you get some clout, whether it's on social media or in the business community, you are essentially alone. And you're doing this, you're climbing Mount Everest by yourself. And you generally start with no equipment, no boots, no warm jacket, no oxygen tank, no any of that. So a lot of times people struggle with that because they're alone, and it's harder for them to take that first step, because at the bottom of the mountain, you look up and it's just daunting. There is nothing but mountain in front of you. You can't see the top. So it makes you feel alone, and nobody really understands what you're going through except other entrepreneurs. And it's just lonely down there at the bottom unless you do it, start out with other people and a team. It's a really lonely state of affairs. You have to realize, one of my favorite lyrics in rap right now is Big Sean. He said, I became an overnight success. It took me 10 years to become an overnight success. And I want to break that down to you. It took him 10 years to become an overnight success. A lot of times people say, oh, well, Facebook just popped up, or the guy who started Instagram just popped up one day, or a lot of these big companies like Google, they started with money, or these ideas were years in making. I mean, you've seen the movie about Facebook. He was in a college dorm at Harvard, and he had life to build the code and move to California and quit school and all the different things he had to do before Facebook was even a thing, before he became big time. A lot of these people, Gary Vaynerchuk started as an immigrant and came up here with nothing and did over 1,000 videos on YouTube back when YouTube first started, before he even got recognized. If you look at people like Steve Jobs, started in his garage. You know, there were years of planning, years of work, years of turmoil, years of trial and error before they got their start. So I don't think, oh, I'm going to start this. It's a great idea. Everybody's going to love it, and I'm going to be an overnight success and a billionaire tomorrow. And like, realistically, it'll be 1 in a trillion chance for it to happen to you. It's unrealistic, and things just don't happen overnight. And that's why I want to impress upon you guys that it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of diligence. It takes a lot of discipline to really be a real entrepreneur. One thing you also have to deal with is the people that doubt you. You know, a lot of times, especially with, hey, what's going on with this? A lot of times when you're building your brand or building your business, what's going on, Sherman? There's a lot of scrutiny around you now. You see people that are maybe working a traditional 9-to-5, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. But you get a lot of, why are you doing that? Or, I'm not sure if you can do that. Do you really want to do that? Why don't you go find a good job? And especially for our community, black people, we're taught, go to school, go to college, get a job. Other communities aren't taught that. And in entrepreneurship, getting a job is kind of the opposite of what you're doing. You want to build a career. And in entrepreneurship, you're really building your own career with your own goals, with your own money from the ground up. So you want to realize that you're going to have people that look at you funny, that say you can't do something, that trying to discourage you or get you to do something else other than what you want to do. But they say the richest, the most wealthy place in the world is the graveyard. And that's because all the people that had these talents, had these values to give, chose not to give it, chose not to pursue it because it was too difficult and they passed with a lot of talents. Imagine if they had really utilized their skills, really utilized their talent to give back to the world, how much better place this would be. Life gets in the way. You're pursuing, you're full throttle, you're going after it, and then you realize, oh, I have to go in my case, I had to go get a surgery. Or in your case, it might be, you're starting a family, or you have a death in your family, for financial change, or things just happen that kind of impede your progress. But I want to tell you that those things pause your progress, but should never stop your progress. Because you can always pick that mantle back up and continue. So just understand that life gets in the way, but it doesn't mean, oh, if I stop for 6 months, I can never get back to it. There's always a way. You just have to realize that things happen, but you can jump over those hurdles and keep pursuing your dream. On the positive side, however, you think about a football player that always tosses it down the field. There's a big risk of it getting intersected or what have you, but there's also a big reward of scoring a touchdown. Entrepreneurship is just like that. It's a gamble, bad way or a good way. Understand that if you really are about the entrepreneurship life, if you're really about the grind, if you're really willing to put in the time, the effort, the sweat, blood, and tears, it'll always end up in a reward, and you end up doing what you want to do, doing what you love to do, providing value to the people you want to provide value to, and really achieving your dreams. But if you don't, it's a big risk, and then you'll end up in failure, and that's okay. Sometimes the first time people want to jump to it, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gung ho about this, and I'm really gonna set things off and become big in the business community, and then their first business fail. That's fine. To fail is fine. Fail forward, fail often, but you don't want to fail and then quit. Quit is when you stop something and you never get back around to it. Failing is just, I learned a lesson of what not to do or what I should do. So don't take that as a negative. Just understand it's a part of the process. But if you quit and never come back to it, you'll end up being with regrets in the future, and that's something you just don't want to live with. Freedom. The video I posted today to show a meeting, me, my mentor Britt Simpson, founder of Bold Vision LLC, and one of the other guys on our team, Dave. We were just not in the office, but we had a business meeting on like a marina. How many times do you guys that maybe work 9 to 5s, and again, there's nothing wrong with that, but how many times do you have office meetings outside the office, not in the boardroom? I mean, we had the option and freedom to have a meeting on a marina on a great day in casual clothing, just discussing business. Not that we were unproductive. Hey, what's going on, Clint? Not that we were unproductive. We just had the option, the freedom to do whatever we wanted to do and still get business done. You have the freedom to wherever you want when you get to a certain place in your entrepreneurship career. You have the freedom to just be who you are, but still get business done. You get to live your passion. They say if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And I think when you get to do something that revolves around your passion, what you're good at, entrepreneurship is the best route to fulfilling that passion. So you definitely want to do something or start building a business around, or start building a brand around what you love and what you enjoy doing. You get to provide value to people that may not even have known they needed it until you fill that gap. A lot of the times, entrepreneurs come around and develop something that nobody thought was realistic or nobody thought was possible, but you didn't know until you needed it. I mean, Think about it. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those things were not invented. But when they were, it was like, wow, it's a really innovative platform. I really like using it. And now they're big time staples. And I mean, think about it. The guy who invented the refrigerator, the windshield wiper, the seatbelt, like all these things were invented by someone. Electricity was invented, well, no, not electricity, but like the light bulb and things like that. But these things were invented before we knew we wanted them. That's the jewel about entrepreneurs, is that they usually come along and have a vision for something and develop it and make it accessible for the community. So they're adding value to you and making your life better. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, make sure that is a part of your repertoire, that you're not doing it just because I see the lifestyle people live. I'm doing it because I'm really passionate about what I'm doing, and I want to give back. I want to help out. I want to make the world a better place. I want the world to be a better place having I been here. So my take on entrepreneurship. Is it for everyone? No. Is it impossible? No. I think it takes the right ingredients, the right time, the right character traits, the right people around you, the right drive, the right dream. You can do it. I mean, it's not impossible for anyone doing anything. You just have to sort of sock up and go after it. So when you think to yourself, oh, I wish I could do this, do it. You know, a lot of times people thought, well, I can't do this because the only thing you have to do is stay black and die. Anything else is a choice. So I really want you guys to, if you have an idea, if you have a business in mind, plan it out. See what it looks like. See what it really will cost you in the long run. And understand that entrepreneurship is not some unattainable goal that you guys have to think 3 years about. Like, those thoughts ruminate. At some point, you gotta let them go. Let them fly. And who knows? You could be the next Jeff Bezos. You could be the next Steve Jobs, Mark Cuban. No, you could be the pillar of your community that starts some type of organization that helps kids around the world. Start a fitness program that spreads worldwide. Fashion, dance, whatever you want to do, just go out and do it. And don't let anybody or anyone get in your way. Because at the end of the day, as long as you're determined, persistent, disciplined, and ready to work, you can do it. So if you have a dream, you have a business, you have something in mind that you want to do, just go for it. It's your dream, so follow it. Remember, guys, the darkest night comes before the brightest morning. What's going on, bro, Chris? The darkest night comes before the brightest morning. In the morning, it's coming. Thank you guys all for watching today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I want to give a special shout out to my graphic designer, Brianna Curitan. She creates all my content on my Instagram. You can find her at Brianna Curitan on Facebook or at With Brianna on Instagram. Give a shout out to Boomy for these shirts. If you want to get one, get in contact with me. Give a shout out to my best friend Buddha, who's doing YouTube gaming videos under Anime Bay. You can find him on YouTube at Anime Bay. He's bringing anime and gaming to the DMV area. You can find him on Twitter at 0_N_Blast. And shout out to everybody who's been following me and keeping consistent with my journey and helping me see what I'm capable of. So that's all for today. Tune in next week with me, 7 p.m. sharp. And I'll talk about building a team. Until next week, talk to you later. Peace.